Let's do it again, shall we? Sounds like a plan. That's good, dude. Well, that completely screwed me. Hey, Vern, thanks for dropping in, buddy. Hopefully, you're having a good evening in Germany. Um, red is the new green. Yeah, exactly. All right, down the hill, make a left, through a couple of stoplights, and make a right, and then run around some corners and end up back on the freeway. We're a little earlier than normal, uh, but that's okay. 7:50 p.m. Yeah, you're definitely way ahead of me. It's 10:50 a.m. here. Got a free right turn here if I can get a break in the traffic, and I did. Cool. Leaves are starting to turn here finally. I put this silly bus lane in the middle of the street here. Got our mini tent city here on the right. Red lighted again. Hey, Demoose, thanks for dropping in, buddy. I don't get it. These people run on scooters on the street. They're legal on the sidewalks here. I don't know why people are running them on the street. Yes, you're in the future. I don't know if they'd show up, but somebody's probably thought of that idea. Great concept, but I think they probably put the kibosh on that. There we go. Now we got a green light. I have yet to figure out why they put up the no right turn on red signs here. Not like people are getting run over here. don't make no sense. It's not like it's a blind corner. I don't know. Another reason not to be in Seattle. Round we go and onto the freeway. Hopefully the glare won't be too bad. Oh, great. The texts are beginning from my friend. But the good news is he found the leak. We've been fighting that for 3 days. So that's good news. Yes, please hit the like button. It's really quite painless. Thank you, Bern. Merge over a bit here and get out of Seattle. Whoops. I forgot to cancel the northbound GPS that was trying to take me back to the hospital. That's okay. We'll just ignore it. There's our big Rainier R going southbound. It actually looks like we may get some good views of the mountain. The haze isn't bad. The smoke is gone from the rain yesterday. That would really be cool. Hopefully we'll get the Bonnie Lake view because that's where you can really see the missing snow. Yeah, it's actually been cracked like that for about 4 years. So I know it'll survive the winter unless something dramatic happens. But luckily, uh, the traffic cops aren't, they find better things to do. They'll write you up a warning on it if there's a mountain here. Look at that. Big, beautiful, glorious mountain sticking up through the clouds. If they pull you over for something else, they'll write you on it or write you a warning for it. But they won't stop you just for a cracked windshield unless it's ridiculous right in front of your field of vision. That's cool. Unless if it's that good up here, we should get a really good view of it down in Bonnie Lake. So you should be able to see this all the snow that's gone. Awesome. You know, people, we could go the speed limit. I know it's a stretch for most of you, but it can be done. It is called a freeway or a highway for high speed. Yeah, this wasn't supposed to happen. We were supposed to have rain all day. Not that I'm going to complain because it is a pretty sunny day and it's not overly hot. All right, Joe, thanks for coming back, hon. We should get some good views of Mount Airy on the way south. We did just have a good one a minute ago. What time are you going live today, Joe? Or is this a day off for you? I think I remember going into your lives the afternoon after I went live. But again, my memory ain't what it used to be. Boy, by the looks of it, looks like you guys are getting hit with the same glare I am. I'm sorry. 'Now we should get a little bit better as we come around the corner. What the heck? I don't know what they're doing over there. 18 minutes either way, down to Auburn. There's our light rail system. Supposed to cost $4 billion back in 1968, which was an absurd amount of money, and now it's cost 10 times that. probably closer to 20 times that, and it still doesn't go anywhere. It goes from downtown Seattle to the airport. When the legislature pitched the idea, it was going to be all over the area. You could hop on a train and go anywhere in the Puget Sound region. I think they're almost complete with getting one over to Bellevue, which is across Lake Washington from Seattle. And they may have just opened the track up to Linwood, which is halfway to Everett. And Everett is our next major city to the north of Seattle. I know they don't have it going all the way down to Tacoma yet, which is the next major city going south out of Seattle. Wow, this isn't too bad. Usually it runs pretty thick through here. Uh, they really need to fix these roads. We get charged a whole bunch of money in taxes for these roads. They really do need to spend some money on them. All right, we got to jump over one more lane to the right. There's a semi up there. There should be a gap in front of him. Nah, there's a gap right here. We'll take this one. Yay, whoopee. We made it. We're on the off ramp. We'll go see if they've still got all that barrier up that we got stuck in this morning. That was a little silly. All right, good. It's actually kind of funny. You'd think a truck would have really stiff suspension, but Sydney's little RAV4 has a stiffer suspension than this does. All right, dude, step on the gas pedal, will you? Come on, let's go. There we go. Teslas. Come on, get your little Tesla out of the right lane if you're not going to, or out of the left lane if you're not going to go the speed limit. Come on, you can do it. We're almost there. Look out, if you hit 60, you're going to die. Apparently, that's what he thinks is slowing down again. Oh well. So it takes us an extra 2.5 minutes. Yeah, I got to. They started running ads on YouTube and ads on Facebook, and not that I watch Facebook that much, but I did have one pop up over there when I was looking at something my daughter had posted about the new carpool lane down here, and it said go read all the new information. And basically, uh, oh there we go. Now he's out of my way. The new carpool lane down in way down the south end coming north is now open for people with good to go passes. So if we hadn't had that messed up area where they had the road blocked off, I would have been able to make a good time coming up this morning. And one of the straps broke on my fancy new boot. Well, it didn't break clear through, but it tore. So now I got to go back over to the prosthetics place after my appointment next week to get that repaired. That's a little irritating. Now that's a lot irritating. Brand new device, 2 months old and it's broken already. Probably shouldn't have built it half-assed in the first place. Hi, Lee. How's the project going, buddy? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Cool. Glad to hear it, bud. And I got another one going way under the speed limit. Uh, oh, look at that, Case Parts. Not that that means anything to you guys, but it does to me. Case Parts is where we get all the little pieces for refrigeration equipment, like for like the two-door reach-in you get soda pop out of at a mini market. Oh, nice, dude. Really, you asshole. I just dirtied up my windshield. And if I hit it with the windshield washer, we'll end up covered in soap. Lots of pumpkins in the pumpkin patch, and they're opening this weekend with their corn mazes and everything. And Maris Farms is opening with their haunted hayride and zombie hunt. That's always a fun one. They take out through the woods out on their property. They dickhead did it again. He's intentionally hitting these puddles to spray water up on my windshield. Yeah, they take you out through the forested area on their property, and basically on a horse-drawn wagon, and everybody gets a paintball gun, and then they have zombies that run out of the woods and attack the horse-drawn carriage, and you get to hunt down the zombies and shoot them, which is great fun, and it's a little spendy, but I think it's worth it. It's a fun experience, especially uh, for the kids older than about 7. If they're old enough to handle seeing the comical zombies, not the really gross ones, but the comical ones. They don't do any really gross zombies, but yep, on the way home, Eddie. But it's a fun thing to do. I don't know how many places around the country do it, but we've got a couple of them here that do that. Haunted hayride and zombie hunt. Finally. Well, go on and get over there, dude. I'm about to get a phone call from this kid. If I get a phone call, I will call you right back, or I will call you. I'll reset it and come right back. Yes, it's a crack in my windshield. It's been there for a couple of years. If it gets worse, I will get it taken care of. Right now, it's not really in my field of vision. I'm taller than it is, so I've left it alone. But that's a great commercial, Eddie. Thank you. Oh, absolutely. All is fair in love and YouTube. That transmission shop used to have the funniest sign, and they finally made one about something about transgender being a trans shop, and they got in serious trouble, and so they basically had to take their reader board down and put up a new sign. So yeah, they've got it all torn down now. All that crap we were caught in this morning is all gone. No excuse for that. If it's gone now, why couldn't they have at least been picking it up this morning? Thunder, I haven't heard that one. That wasn't a national chain. Thunderbolt transmission. Oh wait, here it is. Nope, they still have it up. I thought it was at the other end of that on ramp or on ramp. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see anything that should have that lane shut down. That's ridiculous. Back in the 80s, there's lots of stuff back then. Remember Cal Worthington and his dog Spot? That was nationwide. Sometimes his dog Spot was an elephant or a kangaroo, or I think he was actually based out of Texas too. But he had car dealerships all over the place. And he finally got busted for, for selling unsafe cars. Wow. Now the freeway is really jacked. They're driving into. Man, the mountain looks spectacular. We should get an incredible view in a couple of minutes here, guys. I don't know why they don't have that Chinook Pass closed inside closed because you can't go that way. The bridge that got hit by the back truck is closed. It gets you up 410. It's one hell of a doo-doo hanging out that truck. Wow, he doesn't have either of those barrel wraps. That's a little nerve wracking. supposed to have those wrapped around the tube ones. Get over a lane, grab the 410 off ramp, and, or 410 on ramp, depending on how you're looking at it. I don't know what we're detouring here. Hi, NDR. Thanks for dropping in, honey. That was so much fun last night. If you guys don't know Nature Dog Realms, you got to check it out. She plays games and does lotto tickets at night, and God, it gets so funny. Sometimes she gets some laughing fits going that are just ridiculous. Yeah, God, everybody was just dying last night. We were playing Pictionary. Like YouTube has finally found a place for class clowns, and everybody does such a great job at it. Oh, I don't know. I think the more ice cream, the more views. Get you on a sugar rush and you get going. It's funny. I don't know that anything will ever beat the cotton candy night, but 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 every time is always a party. Yeah, it's always fun. It's always a good time. I gotta get over a lane here so I'm not behind this truck if we come up the hill. Otherwise, he's gonna be blocking our view. We do. We were supposed to get rain all day. Luckily, that we did get hit hard with rain yesterday. All the smoke out of the air. So at this point, up to this point, we've had some really good views of the mountain coming back south, and I think we're about to get a spectacular one as we get up to the top of the hill here. Um, but it's also kind of a scary view because most of the snow is gone off the mountain, and that's only been happening for the last couple of years. Yeah, it's actually perfect weather for me. Beautiful sunshine, and it's only going to be about 60 or 65 today. So it's not too warm, but it's still lovely out. they're just starting to turn. And last week we've started to get colder temperatures at night, and so everything is just now starting to turn. We're just starting to get the oranges and some browns and yellows. I mean, you guys have awesome trees in Colorado too. I've seen the pictures. I couldn't live anywhere that didn't have the evergreens. So yeah, there's some reds on the right and some yellows. So pretty. All right, as we get up to the second stoplight, hopefully we'll have a dynamite view of Mount Rainier. Oh yeah. Now you can see the snow reflecting. Where you don't see any white reflection, that's all missing snow. That's what's scary. But that's awesome view. In the last 25 years, the northern slope was starting to melt away, and by this time that would be mostly dirt. But the rest of it was all snow covered until the last 2 years. And I don't know if I mean everybody screams about global warming. Uh, I gotta hit the pharmacy, so I gotta move over a way. Um, or two, if I can. Um, uh, yeah, the snow's right at the top of the mountain, and then there's a few little patches going down in a couple of spots. The rest of it is now dirt, and I don't know if that's from quote unquote global warming, or also Mount Rainier has been very active in the last year. We're tracking it pretty closely because well, we live that close. If it goes, we probably won't be here anymore. Um, but it's having tons of little earthquakes every day, and and the thermal imaging is saying that it's definitely warming up, and a lot of the fissures are showing. Um, I've lived here my whole life. It's not. I mean, I was here when Mount St. Helens flew. I actually heard it go. I was 120 miles north of it, but I heard it go. Um, and I think we'll have plenty of warning, to be honest. I mean, if we got to warning stages like St. Helens had, we would definitely get out of the way. And I'm watching it pretty closely. Um, I've mentioned it before, but on my posts page, if you go down a little bit, I posted the last video on it that the National Geological Survey put out on it. And I'm keeping track of it, and I'll post those as they show up. We do have what's called a Lahar warning in town. Although the running joke is we won't hear it. If it blows as big as St. Helens did, it'll happen before the Lahar horns ever have a chance to go off. Um, we're the ones that get a little bit. Bahars are the ones that get a little bit less warning than tornado horn. Um, and they're more designed for mud flows, uh, to warn people that mud flows are coming in to go to higher ground. But because of how close we are, the running joke is we won't hear them. And if it went off suddenly, unexpectedly, yeah, it would be an issue. But I, living through when Mount St. Helens went, I mean, they knew it was coming any day. And I can't remember may have been Harry Truman. I believe it was the same as the president. Was the gentleman that they lost that had the lodge up on the lake on Mount St. Helens, and he just refused to come down. He knew when it happened he was going to be gone, but he just refused to leave his home. Yeah, at least get Stevie out of here, huh? Excuse me. So it's possible, but I mean, yeah, we could all die in a car accident tomorrow. So you live with the risk you want to live with. Um, I was hoping we would get to do a drive up through Mount Rainier, and do a live doing it. Um, I don't know. I mean, according to my tracking, I don't know how much of it we could actually do it live though, and we're kind of running out of time to be able to do it. Uh, but she and I are going to start doing some live drives together. We did the one on the way home from when we met Jerry and Susan Butler for dinner, and everybody seemed to have enjoyed that. We don't get tornadoes here very often, like one maybe every 4 or 5 years, and they're very small. We had one out in Buckley, which is maybe 10 miles from our house, uh, 5 or 6 years ago, that took out an old barn. Uh, but it was trying to fall down anyway. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Um, but it's all it's all fun and games till the fat lady sings. Um, anyway, I'm gonna pull up here, and when they come to the window, I'm gonna mute you for just a second, and then we'll get back on it. Hi there. Alright, we're back. That was fun. You couldn't find them. Yeah, hurricanes are scary as hell. We get some pretty wicked winds. Obviously, we don't get those, but we're kind of lucky in the fact that we're surrounded by four hills, and you kind of have to do an S turn to get into the area. Um, so the only time we get hammered is when there's winds coming from the north. Uh, Otherwise, it can be blowing 70-mile-an-hour breeze wind out on the plateau, and it'll be completely calm in Wilkeston because we're protected by those hills. However, if there's a 30-mile-an-hour breeze coming up the valley from the north, we get hammered like it's 80 miles an hour out on the plateau. I've definitely got friends that have gone through hurricanes, and I know those are scary as hell. All right, we got our prescriptions, and now I got to go hit Safeway, and we will end it there. Yeah, yeah, hurricanes are no joke. Best Tech. I don't recognize that logo either, but they must be doing well. They're driving Mercedes Sprinter vans. Um, wow, no disclosure on the van, just the name. Um, anyway, update: doctor's appointment went well. It is continuing to heal, and we'll see what it looks like next week. So we're headed in the right direction for the first time in quite literally years. The last 4 weeks have gone very well. Hi, Share Bear. Thanks for dropping by. Unfortunately, you're right at the end. Um, yeah, I got to stop at Safeway for groceries, and and I will lose that signal at that time. So I will shut it off as we go into the parking lot. Um, but thank you everybody for being here now and this morning, and we'll definitely do it all again next week, and we'll see if we don't get a pop up between now and then. So have a great day. I love y'all, and we'll see you somewhere else out there. I'm sure, because I can't stay off the YouTube thing,